Are you curious about what's happening in the Hawaii real estate market? Well, if you are, stay tuned for today's video. I'll talk about what's sold, at what price points, I'll mention some hot neighborhoods, and what we can expect going forward. I'm Tehani. I'm a real estate professional with Better Homes and Gardens and Vantage Realty, and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You'll be updated on weekly videos as they come out. Let's get started. So let's see what's happened in the last 7 days in the real estate market here in Hawaii. So what's been selling? I've taken sort of a snapshot of properties that have sold within the last 7 days and wanted to share that information with you. So in Upper Haiheoni, there was a property that sold for $1.4 million. It was originally listed for $1,525,000 and on the market for 101 days. It's a beautiful property with lush landscaping, views of the ocean, valley, and mountains, and the property was in excellent condition. So that's one property. Here's another property in Old Pali. Old Pali is a very established neighborhood in sort of the Nu'uanu area. Lots of homes on larger properties, no sidewalks. You just sort of walk along the street. It's a really established highly desirable neighborhood very close to town. So in Old Pali, there was a property that sold for $1.6 million, which was originally listed for $1,850,000. It's a beautiful property in serene Nu'uanu Valley. It's very green and lush. The valley is lots of foliage in the valley. Let's see. This particular property sits on a very large 20,000 plus square foot lot, and it has a separate one bedroom, one bath unit, and it's zone R10 next to a stream in the property. And the property was on the market for 290 days and in fair condition. So what's interesting about this sale is that it sat for a really long time, and the property needed quite a bit of work, even though the location was highly desirable, and the neighborhood is also a very desirable area as well. So in Mokuleia, which is on the north shore of Oahu, there was a beachfront property that sold for $2,890,000, fee simple, and it sold in 7 days. The property is on the ocean front, faces the Pacific Ocean, 60 feet of sandy beachfront, and it's protected from the winter surf by an offshore barrier reef. This is a very family-friendly neighborhood, and it offers year-round swimming on the sandy shore, even when the winter surf is large. So you have that protection of the offshore reef. This particular property is really, you have a very North Shore lifestyle. You get What I love about this area is that you really get a chance to experience what it's like living on the beach without all of the people and all the visitors coming through like they do in parts of Haleiwa. So it's actually away from Haleiwa, on Crozier's Drive, but really a beautiful spot on the island. Okay, so this next property is in Kailua, and Kailua is a very popular neighborhood. You don't really need to leave Kailua town, which is I have friends that live in that area say that they don't have to go over the hill because everything that they need and they want is there in Kailua town. So this particular property sold for $2,250,000. It's a fee simple property. It was on the market for 28 days. The original asking price was $2,450,000. It's an elegant home. It was built in 2005, which is a rare find. in Kailua, many of the homes were built in the 50s, and this particular home was built in 2005. Kailua is a really popular area because it's close to downtown, yet you have all of the beach activities and lots of swimming, and just it has a very beach culture, the town does. This particular property includes a separate studio. It had a huge 3-car garage and custom privacy gate. And it is located on North Kalaheo Avenue and in excellent condition. So now that I've given you a little bit of kind of what's sold, let's talk about some of the hot neighborhoods. And this is the activity that I've seen within the last 7 days. So lots of activity and interest in Mililani Town, Mililani Malka. A lot of new listings, properties that are in escrow, and properties that have sold. Also, another popular neighborhood is Coconut Grove, which is a neighborhood within Kailua. There's a lot of interest in that neighborhood as well. Maili, which is on the west side, is, in my opinion, the west side has the best beaches on the island. And I think in large part why Maili is, there's a lot of interest in that community is it's relatively affordable for many families, but it is a farther distance from town than other neighborhoods. And then there's Waihawa and Waihawa Heights. So I would say for the last maybe 2.5 years, Waihawa has been pretty popular. You can buy a home in Waihawa probably in the $700,000 range. You have a lot of square footage. So many of the homes that are built are on large lots. So people have purchased them and then CPR'd them and done things to sort of, I guess, maximize their investment in the property. But Waihawa does have large lots. And Waihawa Heights is very cool. On the island, it's probably it's sort of in the central area of Oahu, up the mountains, towards the mountains, and you get a real cool breeze. It's probably a few degrees cooler in Waihawa than it is in other parts of the island. If you're thinking of making a move, share your comments in the comments below. Let me know, what you're thinking. So what does this mean for you? If you're thinking of selling, now would be a good time. There's not a whole lot of inventory out there. If you're thinking of buying, it might be a little, depending on your price point, the competition might be a little more competition on some properties, maybe not so much on others. I think that if you are luxury properties above $2 million are seeing a little bit of some price reduction and a little bit of a lag in getting into escrow. So that's my sort of outlook on what's happening in our market. How's our market? That's a little bit of what's been going on in the last 7 days. If you check back with me in another week or so, I'll have another video posted. But until then, I hope you have a fantastic day. Hit the thumbs up for this video if you enjoyed it. Thumbs down if you think that it's not didn't work for you too much. But in any event, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for checking in. And I'll see you again next week.